go for the love of flowers. Chapter 5. On his 26th birthday, Percy has the happiest day of his life. He gets to marry Annabeth, something that was nearly 14 years in the making. At rehearsal, he nearly cries. At the ceremony, he does cry. And now he's finally back home, sweaty and a little tired, but beyond overjoyed and certainly about to cry again. He's still in his suit, only with the jacket thrown God knows where in the apartment. Annabeth is still in her dress, but it's been pinned in clips so that she can dance or fight if needed, because even though they've been retired for years now, they were still demigods. Plus, the scent of demigods were being compounded by the wedding party and guests. Annabeth stuffs a container into the microwave and calls behind her that she will be changing out of the dress and then French pressing it into oblivion. Percy laughs, taking the opportunity that arose to go grab the bouquet of flowers Estella managed to put together while everyone partied away. "For Annabeth and you," she had said with a bright smile, looking adorable in her flower girl outfit. "You have to make sure Annabeth has pretty flowers all of the time now." So Estella was dead serious about this, and she had the exact same "I'm not kidding around here" expression as their mother. However, on her little kid features, it's reading as cute more than it's reading as intimidating. Percy places the flowers into one of their vases. They had to have collected a handful since Percy is rather a smart guy and has not stopped giving Annabeth fresh flowers since they were 16. They're beautiful in the vase, the striking blue poppies against the raised crystal clear glass. Percy can't help but smile some more. The bedroom door reopens and Annabeth appears, but this time in a fluffy robe and her hair up in a ponytail. She looks flushed and happy, cozy even, now in her slippers, and she hums when she walks over to give Percy a hug from behind. Her arms wrap around his waist, and her eyes close, even before she can see the flowers, and leans into his back. "You look rather comfortable," Percy teases, and Annabeth hums again. It only serves to make him laugh, running a hand through his curls. He grabs the vase and twists around in Annabeth's hold, much to her chagrin. One eye opens and glares at him sharply before noticing the flowers. "What's this?" she says, her eyes sparkling with mirth. She leans back a little and looks at him, and Percy thinks he loses his mind. "More flowers? Haven't we bothered Katie enough? These are from Estella, thank you very much." "Oh, well, in that case, I love them more than life itself," Annabeth says, and Percy pouts. "You choose favorites," he complains. Annabeth only laughs. "In the Jackson family? Of course I do. You know, I can order them too, if you would like to know." She raises an eyebrow as Percy squints at her. "Estella, Sally, you know, I'd have to say I do think Paul counts." She pretends to think about it deeply, ignoring the offended, "Hey," Percy cries out. And then, is there one more? Oh, right. Estella's a wonderful pet fish, Fishy. And, I guess there's you too." Percy's in a full-blown pout by now, and Annabeth is biting back a smile. Even on his wedding day, she'll never let him catch a break. "You know, I have a favorite Jackson too," Percy says with a smirk. He holds Annabeth close and leans into her, his mouth right next to her ear before whispering, "Annabeth Jackson." When he pulls back, Annabeth is completely red, but is wearing the happiest, brightest smile that he's ever seen. She can tease him all she wants, but at the end of the day, they know that it's them and their love together. At the end of the day, Percy knows he can make Annabeth blush and lose focus, something literally nothing else on Earth or Olympus could do. Who taught you to be this charming? She says, burying her face to his chest. Percy laughs and wraps his arms around her tightly. You tell me. Hush. I will, but first, I would like to be out of this suit and be as comfortable and warm as you are, so if you don't mind. His voice trails off as he attempts to extract himself from her grasp, but he is rather unsuccessful. Okay, you do have to let go of me for a minute. He chuckles and then tries again, though not really giving any real strength, because there's no place he loves being in more than Annabeth's warm, open arms. I'm letting you. I think you just, need to try, she replies with a challenge in her eyes. Her arms lock around him tighter, and Percy immediately steps up to take it. Okay. Don't say I didn't warn you. 1, 2, 3. Percy shouts and lifts Annabeth into the air by her waist. She lets out a surprised shriek, and Percy bursts into laughter, taking her with him into their bedroom easily as she stays frozen in place from shock. What on earth? I gave you a warning, so I better not hear a complaint. Annabeth's gaping and silent when he gently places her down on the bed. Her arms are fully loose enough so he can step away and change out of his suit into a pair of pajama pants and soft sleep shirt. When shirt's back, Annabeth is crossing her arms with an offended look in her eyes. What? Percy asks with a cheeky grin. Aren't you happy to see the show? Sad it's over. Annabeth rolls her eyes before getting up to pull on a sweatshirt of her own. Please, she says, and Percy and her both know better. You tricked me. I did not trick you, Percy. I literally said, don't say I didn't warn you. I warned you. That is not tricking. She sticks her tongue out at him, and he does the same. And then they proceed to laugh. Percy feels the smile from his face move down to his chest and deep into his heart. It's like all the crashing, messy, monstrous waves of him calms down into a peaceful pools of high tides and low tides. Percy looks at Annabeth, her laughing features, her swinging and swaying braid ponytail, her drowning in her favorite sweatshirt, which is actually Percy's first college sweatshirt from freshman year that she had stolen and proceeded to never give back. And finally, feels all right. This is his new normal. Silly nights of teasing each other because they're still those two 12-year-old kids who literally could not stop snipping at each other, challenging each other mentally and surely physically, though, through spars, but all with the underlying aspect of love and wanting to give the other person the best they could ever be. Percy Jackson has never been a normal boy once in his life. From the start, he was born of a mortal and a god, and immediately set up for a life of fighting and battling just to survive. He'd been kicked out of schools, bullied by mean girls, and scared that he's just gonna end up in some dark, dank hole in New York. Joyless, loveless, alone, and sad. But somehow he found Grover, and then Annabeth, and then more friends, and everything completely changed. He's still not normal. He can't be. He's still a demigod. He's still a fighter. He's still a bit messed up from wars and quests in Tartarus. But with Annabeth, he's made his own version of normal. He's made his own version of being okay. And that definition is watching Annabeth set down the bowl of food that she had microwaved on the bedside table and snuggle into the comforter. She grabs the remote to turn on her favorite show on the TV as she makes them watch it over and over and over again until they both know every line. Community? Again, he complains, but still gets under the covers and wraps an arm around her. Annabeth scoffs, reading right through his facade. Don't act all high and mighty. You love it. No. Hush. I love the theme song. Percy likes it too. But he doesn't want to admit defeat, so instead he just sighs happily. It's only been a few hours of married life, but he feels how perfect it is.